Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'll be making the corn cake again. But in this video I'm gonna spray over this recipe because I already have a other corn cake in my channels, and I see so many people say they tried but they didn't came out good. So I'm gonna try make it not same recipe but similar recipe, but for this one I'm gonna add as well flour. So if you can eat flour at all, you can have this recipe here. I'm gonna make it just to this cake now gonna be more soft compared with the first one I already made in this channel. So the first thing first I do before I start making any recipe, I turn my oven to 170 degrees. I don't know if you can see here. My oven is an electric oven, see, and I have here all the bottom. I like to, turn my oven this bottom on and just there 170 degrees, because my all the time when I make my cake I already try bake my cake in 180 degrees. For this oven or for this cooker was always get brown very quick, and it was even bake inside, So the first thing I always do is just turn my oven on, as you can see, and after that we're gonna start making my recipe. Other thing as well I like to do is use home temperature ingredients, So for this recipe here I have 4 medium-sized eggs, 8 milliliters of milk. You can use whole milk as well, but here I'm just using normal milk we have at home. And you can use as well coconut milk as well for this cake. It's very delicious. Maybe one day I'm gonna make as well here. And here we have sugar. For this recipe they say it's 230 grams of sugar, but I don't like too sweet, so I'm using only 200 grams of sugar. I'm using custard sugar. And for here I have 125 grams of flour. I'm using self-raising flour, and 125 grams as well for the corn. I like to use very thin corn, but I don't have. I'm just using natural one. I can show you soon. And there I have my butter. I like to use very soft butter, but this one for this special cake here I'm using stock. So if you live in England you're gonna find in this I'm using for this one. I really love to use this for my cakes. I'm using the same thing I used for other cake. I believe someone asked me as well in the comments it was size. I believe this one is 23, but I'm gonna make sure, and I'm gonna leave as well in a description box for you the size of this thing here. I bought this one from Amazon. They're just gorgeous, and I love this cake tin, And let's start making this recipe, okay? Okay, the first thing I like to do as well after turn my oven on is prepare my cake tin, because I like when I finish making my cake just put straight away to the tin and they put it in the oven. So here I just like to add butter or even oil, any oil of your preference. Okay, that's it. And now we add as well some flour. make sure add the flour all around of your tin as well, and remove the excess. That's it. Lovely. So we leave here our pot. What we're gonna do, we're gonna add butter and sugar, and we're gonna mix it. As you can see, my butter is very soft, you know. I call it butter, but it's just stuff, you know. So I'm gonna transfer to the bowl and sugar too, and we're gonna mix this one until become very fluff. And then after that, we're gonna start adding our eggs. Okay. Sometimes you need to stop and you just give a good things to your bowl, you know, in the bottom, in the everywhere, just to make sure all the ingredients are incorporated, you know, and mixing well. And they continue to mix until the right consistency. So as you can see, it's already fluffy, you know, and it's a little bit lighter compared, and just look like double the volume as well, you know. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna just add here only egg yolks, you know. So what we're gonna do now, we need to separate egg yolks, you know. For that, I'm gonna use the same bowl I had in my sugar, and we need a clean small bowl as well. And we're gonna just separate the white eggs here. I'm gonna use later, and yolks, and we're gonna leave in this little bowl here. Okay. Now we're gonna add the yolks one each time, you know. I have one already here open, doesn't matter, so it's no big deal anyway. So we're gonna start adding one per time. And other thing as well, I like to add to my cakes, you know. Some people, they okay with the heavy cake without any essence, you know. I'm talking about lemon and oranges, but for me, I'm very sensitive to eggs smell, and I like to add some for this one. I'm gonna add oranges, but it's up to you. If you don't have, or if you're okay with the egg smell, yeah, don't worry about it, you know. So we're gonna start add yolks. When you add your yolks, you don't need it over mix anymore. Only the first step, when you mix your sugar in the butter, you need to mix for about 2 minutes, you know, to become fluffy. But after that, you don't need to mix your cake a lot anymore. So now I'm gonna add some oranges. It's orange now. Doesn't look very nice, but still okay. You add some zest here. Next step is add flour and the corn flour as well, and the milk. So for that, I'm gonna do that in 2 or 3 times, you know, just because it helps to mix it and incorporate all ingredients together. I'm gonna start with the flours. I didn't add any salt here because I'm using the stock and it's already have some salt, you know. But if you're using salted butter, you need to add a pinch, you know, just a pinch of salt. So let's mix this. When we add the flour, you know, and the milk, just very quick. Sometimes I don't even use my hand mix anymore, just use a spatula to add flour in the milk. As I said before, I'm using self-raising flour for this cake, but I'm still adding the extra, you know, baking powder, quantity of extra baking powder to my cake. Everywhere I use self-raising flour. Okay, so for that I'm gonna just add it, just half tablespoon, you know, just to help the cake to raise it better. That's it. Now we're gonna just make a good mix it with the spatula. If you can use the just very thin cornmeal, is better for best result and for to your cake be more fluffy. I don't have at home, so that's why I'm using this one, you know. But it's, of course, English not my first language, people, sorry. So I'm using this one, they call it polenta as well, but I like to use the very thin, like the texture is look like a flour, you know, as well, when I make corn cakes. But I don't have at the moment, so I'm using this one, you know. So but up to you if you want to try it this way, or if you want to use the more thin cornmeal as well. Okay, now we're gonna leave this one here apart very quick, and you're need to mix all white eggs. When you mix your white eggs, mix it very gently, you know, because that white eggs gonna bring the air, you know, to make this cake fluffy, you know. Otherwise we're gonna have, instead of have a cake, we're gonna have a bread, you know. So it's the very important if you just incorporate like this, you know. You can see it's not mix, not just incorporate gently, you know, because baking, when you bake for your family, it's just like you give them love, you know, show love by the baking. So baking is not something you just do quick, just to finish it quick, you know. It look like enjoy to make it as well, you know. Make sure it's all mixed, you know, and even the bottom and everything. Even if it stays just a little bit in the top, don't worry, you know. It's gonna help your cake to be more fluffy. So now I'm gonna transfer to a cake tin. It's just my daughter she play with money, with coins, you know. Yes, it's you. You play with my money. Yes, okay. And I'm gonna take to the oven. So now I usually put between 35 to 40 minutes to bake this kind of cakes, you know, because if you make your cake in a square tin, it's more easy to bake more quick compared with these bone tins, you know. So I always like to leave 40 minutes here, but when it's just about 35 minutes, if my cake is brown and all my house smell of cake, I just like to do a test, you know, with something like that. If it's dry, you just remove your cake. Okay, so my cake is my oven is a fan oven. I used to say electric oven, but it's a fan because it's have a fan, you know, in the bottom of the oven. I believe not all the electric oven is same, so I think it's just to make sure your oven is a high temperature, you know. Even if I mention my videos, I bake my 170 degree. Maybe for your oven, even if it's an electrical oven as well, maybe it's different, you know. So okay, let's wait for a cake bake, and then I'm gonna be back to show you how is this delicious. My cake is already done. I baked this cake for exactly 35 minutes to 170 degree. You know, I like to let my cake cool down for about 20 minutes before removed from the tin. We're gonna remove it now because it's already been here for about 20 or 30 minutes already. Since you can touch your tin, your cake is okay to remove, you know, because some people, they just like to eat the cake when it's still warm, you know. So let's remove it from the tin now. You can use a knife, or I'm using a spatula here because you can use a knife as well. Just try to make it more easy, you know, to remove. If you like me, you like corner cakes. I like everything with corners, you know, with corner meal or with corner flowers. If you like me, you know, leave a comment in the comment section say I like everything with corn cakes or with cornmeal, sorry, or corn flour. Now we have a plate. Let's just put that in. Normally this cake, this tin, the cake come very easily, you know. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous, you see? And very fluffy, very sponge, you know. I'm gonna cut. It's still no cold completely, but I'm gonna cut just to show you how it is inside. Let's see. You can't go wrong with this cake. See, very moist and the fluffy and the sponge. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous cake. See? Delicious. If you look for a corn cake, you know, cornmeal cake, for breakfast, for tea time, you know, we love this cake at home. We love this cake. So if you enjoyed to watch this video, and if you didn't subscribe yet to my channel, because my analysis show that 90% of the people watching my video, they didn't subscribe. They come back, watch another video as well, but they didn't subscribe yet. So if you enjoy to watch my video, please subscribe, share this recipe with your family and your friends, and I love you a lot. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.